All right. Inside corner or angle, whatever you want to call it, right? We already went through this. Call it whatever you want. I call it an inside corner. We want it nice and square, right? We created a nice square corner. Why? We need that nice square corner in there for when they come and put the trim on, right? When the base trim comes on, if you have too much mud globbed on the bottom, doing crown molding, too much mud globbed on the top, whatever the case may be, now your carpenter has to suffer for your negligence when you were creating a nice square corner. That's the goal, okay? This is all the same. You're gonna see me do the same. Put the compound on half the knife. I'm gonna actually go and grab a little bit more because we're gonna need a little bit more for this corner. Another technical aspect of the drywall business, another controversial thing, inside corners, caps, however you get it done. If you feel more comfortable doing one side and letting that dry, coming back tomorrow and doing the other side and letting that dry, good for you. The results ultimately are all gonna be the same. Flat and smooth, so it's ready for paint. That's our goal. So let's get into this corner. Same technique as we were putting it on the cap, bottom, top, right? We're gonna do side, side. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be this side, this side. It's always 3. Our last wipe is a little, did you catch that? Another blob. We're getting sloppy. But you leave that on there, now you track it all over the goddamn house. We don't want that. We don't want that. Get it off the floor right away. I don't want to get too technical with the inside corners. One side, one side, one side. There's always going to be a last side wipe. The way I determine things is where my last side wipe is going to be. It's a combination of where the gap was, which I showed you how to determine that in the very, very beginning, okay? Which side you wipe. And also when you walk into the room and your eyesight carries the wall. It's going to determine where your last wipe is going to be, all right? If you have a wall that's a very long wall, your eye catches it, and you look down the wall, but there's trim or obstruction in your sight line, that may be a good indication of where your last wipe is going to be. Vice versa. If you walk into the room and your sight line comes down this wall, okay, there's no obstruction, and you can see that wall is gonna be our last wipe, all right? I know it sounds crazy. I know it maybe it's too much, maybe it doesn't make sense, but as you continually do it over and over and over again, it will make sense. But I want you to know the why behind why I would wipe one side on the corner last and create that angle. Again, if you want to do one side, let it dry, do the other side, let it dry. That's fine. However you get there, okay? So for right now, this is the longer wall. We have a clearer sight line to the angle, shorter wall, no obstruction. For teaching purposes, I am going to wipe this side last, which is going to create that angle or that clean corner, okay? Again, we're still putting the compound on the same. Little bit at a time, half the knife. Get down to the bottom, right? Don't be afraid to get to the bottom. Don't start up here. Don't cheat. The tape goes to the floor. Do the right job for the next guy, okay? We got it pretty uniform. I'm pretty clean up and down. Let's go to the other side. I'm stopping here. Why am I stopping here? Because this is wet and this is somewhat wet. So I'm stopping here. Can you go up into that corner where the 3 corners meet? Yes, you can. That's perfectly fine. I'm trying to make it easy on myself when I do the next coat, okay? So let's follow suit. Get down there, get down to the floor. Don't be stingy and start here, here, here. Go down to the floor. Create that nice angle. So your trimmer, your trim carpenter, can come in there and put a nice miter. We don't pronounce our R's here up in the Northeast. I'm from the city, Queens, no R. Hunter, water, no R's. Same technique. Cut the edge. Angle your knife to the inside. Same thing here. Cut the edge. Angle your knife to the inside. Same thing here. Cut the edge. And cut the edge. Okay? Now that we got those edges nice and cut, now we're able to create our corner. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. All of these techniques are the same. Angle of the knife, flatness of the knife. It's very important. It goes all the way back to the beginning video. Let's get this now, right? We're going to start here. This side first, second, last wipe here. Flatten the knife. Look how flat my knife is, okay? It's very, very, very important to keep your knife flat on these wipes, okay? If we don't keep our knife flat, this is what happens. You open your knife up and you want to drag it down, you're going to pull the compound out of the other side. Same thing I showed you when we were putting the compound for the first coat, okay? We don't want that. We're creating a nice square corner, okay? I'm actually keeping my hand down so low and I'm going to flatten it out, but you can't grab it any lower. Again, that's why I use one finger, because I have more control, right? I'm going to wipe that down, leave a little horseshoe right there for right now in the sheen. I'm going to go to the opposite side, and it's the same thing. We're going to keep that knife. I always say flatten the knife, flatten the knife, flatten the knife. Keep it very, very flat. We'll just address that in a second. You could probably pick it up a little easier now with this camera on my head. Let's keep that knife nice and flat and press, okay? Nice and flat and press. Now, I want you to get there. Remember, we're only going to wipe this side once. Come from the bottom. It's easier for me to do it this way. I've always done it this way. And I'm going to flatten my knife and angle it. Get that corner in there nice. Create that nice angle. Now, I left a horseshoe in there. You probably can't pick it up. Why did I leave the horseshoe there? Because it's in the seam. When the corner dries, I'm going to give it a quick scrape or a sand. If I don't, for some reason, get that horseshoe out adequately enough, when I come through with my polish coat on the seam, I'm going to eat up that horseshoe. That's why we strategically leave that in the seam, okay, the horseshoe. Maybe you have a different name. Maybe it's a lap mark. I don't know. We call it a horseshoe because it resembles a horseshoe. Just saying. Don't beat me up. That's what we call it. Last wipe, this side. Corner in, flatten the knife. This is really just creating that angle. I'm hardly putting any pressure on my knife at this point. I'm going straight down. Okay? I'm going to come back up and I'm going to leave the horseshoe in the seam. Okay? A couple times. No pressure. All the way up. And we leave that horseshoe in there. You could probably pick up, there's a little bit of, maybe the gap is not filled. Again, that's why we want to fill the gap, you know, on the first coat. You could take a little bit of compound on your knife and get in there. Okay? It's very simple. We're in the seam. And we clean that up. We leave the horseshoe in the seam. That'll get a quick sand, polished through. You'll never know that we ended there. There you have your inside and outside corners, your caps, all right? I think we should have brought this up and maybe mentioned it a few more times. If anybody ever has any questions about the technique, about why I do things, you need more information, you could always shoot me an email. I'll be happy to answer questions, you know, general questions. I can go into some detailed questions, and it's KLDrywallInc1@gmail.com. We're getting ready to get our website out there, so you'll be able to check that out soon. But, you know, I'll answer, you know, questions that are relevant, that have substance. So we're here to bring value to the beginner taper and help them get started. Explain the process to them so they know the why and the how, then the how. There we go. We got our seams done. We got our screws done. We got our inside corners done. And we got our caps done, all right? Second coated. It's nice and clean. Lines are clean. Everything's clean, right? Let's move on to our crossbar.